Well, there's palpable anger by MPs who feel that this report has not stuck within its remit. It's swerved away from the original question. The person who set it up, Yasmin Qureshi, wanted to find out whether there was a possible link, and the regulators at the time didn't do enough to deal with the potential of that link, and then left women exposed to a potential danger. And that's a question that many feel hasn't really been asked, and that's what MPs were pressing at today. I'm joined now by Mary Lyon, who's the chair of the Association for Children Damaged by Hormone Pregnancy Tests. I mean, what did you think about what the MPs had to say?
I thought the MPs were absolutely wonderful because they actually crystallised exactly what the problem is with the report, with the lack of documentation to prove the actual conclusion of the report, because it's quite apparent within the body of the report that there isn't enough in there to actually state definitively that there's no link. But the fact that they've actually said causal link as opposed to possible association is deeply, deeply worrying.
That requires a higher bar of evidence, is that right?
It actually requires a bar of evidence that just isn't available. There is no way that you can actually disprove or approve a causal link. It just doesn't exist.
I suppose to do that you'd have to give it to pregnant women today.
You would indeed. It would have to be given to a pregnant woman. You would then have to monitor the outcome, and that really is something that just would not happen.
Yeah. There was a call for judicial reviews. There was a suggestion that this is a whitewash. I mean, how did you feel about that?
Well, I felt that there was a purpose, obviously, from the very beginning with the group, and the MHRA, that it would be advantageous, if you like, to be able to say that there is absolutely no problem with these hormones, because these hormones are used today. So it's quite apparent now.
A much lower dose, it must be said.
They are a much lower dose, but nevertheless, there are, all sorts of there's abnormalities, stillbirths, miscarriages that occurred at the higher dose. And what's to say that they can't have some kind of impact, maybe not immediately, but certainly in the long term, on any children that are born if they have previously taken an oral contraceptive.
We know that there's research currently being conducted in Aberdeen that wasn't included in the report because it hadn't been peer-reviewed yet, but I understand there was stuff that was unpeer-reviewed that was in the report.
That was actually the ultimate betrayal. There were 44 unpublished reports studies in the report, and yet the one report that's current, that's actually showing signs of effects from Primodos itself, that's the actual drug they're using, has not been accepted because it wasn't peer-reviewed or published, and yet the 44 reports were not peer-reviewed or published, but many of them were from Shearing.
Where does this go from here?
We have been advised by quite a few MPs that they want a judicial review. They want a government discussion, not a backbench business debate, but a full government discussion on why this has happened. Why, when they were tasked with actually finding something out that's been waiting for 47 years, they actually did not follow the terms of reference, and they did not look at past failures.
Mary Lyon, thanks very much for talking to us. So there you get a sense of that frustration from Mary, who's been running the organisation for a number of years, and it is echoed by a lot of MPs representing their constituents around the country who say that they feel that more needs to be done, that this needs to be again turned over and looked at properly.
Okay.